In a world where the virtual world fuses with reality, chaos erupts, monsters break loose, and magical disasters erupt everywhere. The only way to survive is to choose a class and level up. Amidst this mayhem, Zhou Yi hopes to possess a good class, to earn money for his sister's medication. However, he mysteriously awakens the S+ rank talent that grants him protection from an angel, transforming his typical class into the coveted hidden class, Sacred Knight. In the year 2624, Lijiang City's second academy celebrates its annual class awakening ceremony. Thousands of students line up before the headmaster, Luoheng, who announces that the first awakening is something that decides the future of a person, in addition to the various factors that shape them. He advises the students not to change their classes right after they awaken combat classes, and he also informs them that summoners and engineers need large amounts of resources, so it's hard for normal people to afford them. Meanwhile, the students are excited to know which class they belong to. Some of them want to awaken berserkers, while some want to be pharmacists. You might be confused about the origins of this world, so here's a little backstory. It all started when a virtual reality game named Eternal appeared in the world. The game provided a brand new experience and extreme euphoria from killing, which in turn made people lose themselves in the game. This made the game famous, and more people entered it, until one day, the surface of the world exploded by 1,000 times, causing a large number of secret realm maps to descend. With this, countless monsters and other races surged out. Eternal has merged with the real world. Everyone could now level up and change their classes to increase their power, allowing them to fight the monsters. Among those who transmigrated into this world is Zhou Yi, a young man who lost his mother before he had a consciousness of his own. His sister, Zhou Yi, was suddenly affected by a weird disease, which is untreatable by normal doctors. Zhou Yi could barely maintain her life with the low-level priest's help. To keep his sister alive, he had to sell their house and beg their relatives for assistance. However, this is just a mere band-aid solution. If Zhou Yi doesn't find the cause of his sister's disease, she will always be on the verge of death. On top of that, he only has a part-time job, which isn't enough to cover the medical fees. Driven by his determination to save his sister, Zhou Yi plans to awaken a combat class to earn money and maps, which will allow him to take his sister to a higher-level priest. Just then, a level 24 mage announces to everyone that the class awakening ceremony is about to begin. With this, he instructs the students who have their number announced to stand in the magic formation one by one. He suddenly summons a portal, which almost blows everyone away. Zhou Yi can attest that the mage is strong, and he guesses that his income for hosting a class awakening ceremony must be at least in the six-figure range. Suddenly, the 5th class homeroom teacher, Li Xiangyang, starts calling the students' numbers. There are thousands of classes that can be awakened, but only 3 types of classes will appear in the class awakening ceremony. In this world filled with monsters, combat classes are the most respected by others. On the other hand, life-type classes have the lowest positions. As the ceremony continues, the mage is disappointed to find that there is not a single one of the students who has awakened a combat class. This seems uncanny, because according to statistics from previous years, around half of the class should be able to awaken combat classes. Among the 3 classes, the Enchanter should be the class with the best potential. Meanwhile, Zhou Yi continues to wait for his number, until he's finally called. As he steps closer to the portals, he overhears some of his classmates cheering him on. However, some of the students can't help but be disappointed by the fact that academic performance and stats are not decisive factors for class awakening. This only proves that nothing is predetermined in this world, so anyone can be a dark horse. However, according to Zhou Yi's classmates, his academic results are excellent and all his stats are impressive, so he should be able to awaken a strong class. Meanwhile, Tang Tianjun, the 6th class homeroom teacher, asks Li Xiangyang about how his class is doing. He also wonders how many students have awakened combat classes, when Xiangyang reveals that he has 16. Tianjun boasts that his class already has 21 students who awaken combat classes, and there's a rare class too, instantly fulfilling the quota for the yearly examination. Suddenly, the two abruptly stop their conversation when they notice that Zhou Yi is not moving. Meanwhile, Zhou Yi notices that his necklace is glowing, and from it emulates a streak of golden light that surrounds him. Suddenly, a notification pops out of thin air, informing him that the system has detected energy and is not activating. A notification board suddenly appears, saying that the strongest class support system has activated the rookie starter gift, which is an S+ grade talent protection of the Sacred Angel. The system then asks Zhou Yi if he wishes to activate it. Confused, he rubs his eyes to make sure that he's not hallucinating, but everything is true, and it's actually happening. Zhou Yi suddenly remembers that he bought this necklace on a street stall in his previous life, and it accompanied him through his transmigration. He guessed that it might be some sort of treasure, but nothing came out of it after some testing, so he eventually gave up. However, he has now activated the system, and it even gave him a big gift. Talk about winning the lottery. The system then informs Zhou Yi that the protection of the Sacred Angel gives him an increased affinity with light types, including all light types and divine skills. In this world, talents are graded from F to S grade. The higher the grade, the better the effect it brings. Most importantly, the 3 classes that will appear in the class awakening ceremony have a huge connection with the talents that one possesses. Unbeknownst to Zhou Yi, the others can't see the notifications board, and they all think that he's only staring into the air and is unable to summon a class. Just then, a golden beam of light shoots into the heaven. Everyone is shocked, especially the mage and the headmaster. The mage reckons that it's a talent awakening phenomenon. The headmaster argues that it's a class awakening phenomenon. To everyone's surprise, a blindfolded angel suddenly descends from the sky and approaches Zhou Yi. She explains that the light is his belief and the source of his power, assuring him that under the support of this belief, the sacred light will always protect him and burn away all evil. The angel then uses her powers to bless Zhou Yi, vowing to always protect him by his side. A strong surge of energy travels through Zhou Yi, so potent that it causes him to scream. When his pain finally subsides, 3 golden figures descend from the sky. The students are surprised to witness that Zhou Yi's talent is the protection of the Sacred Angel, while some are impressed that he was lucky to receive a new talent at a class awakening ceremony. Meanwhile, some are surprised by the figures that descended from the sky, claiming that they haven't seen them before. Confused, one student asks Li Xiangyan what those classes mean, and he stutters as he reveals that those are hidden classes: the Mage of Light, the Sacred Priest, and the Saint Knight. The Mage of Light is a pure DPS class, known for its excellent damage output but lacking in defensive skills. This vulnerability makes them easy targets for the numerous foreign races that roam the land, posing a significant risk of injury or death. On the bright side, this mage has beautiful badonkers. Priests, on the other hand, are equipped with numerous life-saving skills and the unparalleled ability to resurrect, but their weak combat abilities and reliance on others make them unsuitable for Zhou Yi. The Saint Knight class, however, is a well-rounded option with a comprehensive skill set that includes defense, offense, and buffs. Although the Saint Knight does not excel in any single area, its alignment with Zhou Yi's affinity for light makes it a fitting choice. After evaluating his options, Zhou Yi decides to choose the Saint Knight class. Cool, but this dude just forgot he needed a priest for his sister. Upon activation, the system declares its core beliefs: humility, honesty, bravery, empathy, responsibility, a commitment to acts of glory, and the pursuit of justice. The Knight class is then successfully integrated into Zhou Yi's system, signifying that he is awakened as a Saint Knight. The system congratulates Zhou Yi for awakening the Saint Knight class level 10 and informs him that he has received multiple skills, such as Blade of Pure White, Slow Regeneration, and Weapon Blessing. Additionally, he also received 10 extra unassigned points. His classmates congratulate him enthusiastically, and several ask if they can join him in the final exam to have a backup. Summoners and mages also make similar propositions, suggesting they could achieve high scores together. However, Mr. Li disperses the crowd, wanting to talk to Zhou Yi personally. The old man suddenly acts overly nice, showering Zhou Yi with congratulations, and instructing him to visit the headmaster's office the next day. In the back of Li's mind, he is already thinking about how he can benefit from all the hidden classes that Zhou Yi has unlocked. Later that day, Zhou Yi settles in his room and checks the system. His strength is at 20, its constitution at 18, agility at 17, and intelligence at 15. His stats have increased after awakening, and he also has unassigned stat points. Believing that strength should be the top priority and constitution next, Zhou Yi allocates most of his unassigned points to these attributes. Suddenly, golden flames exude from his body, and he feels energy boiling within him, likely a result of the new stat points. He feels lighter, almost like a new person. The system then informs him that it has detected him using stat points for the first time, activating the Saint Knight mission. His first mission is to challenge level 1, where he can choose 2 of the following rewards by completing the daily mission for the first time. 10 extra stat points, Saint Knight skills, or random Saint Knight equipment. Zhou Yi chuckles as he reads this, seeing a familiar trope of completing missions to receive rewards. Determined to accomplish the mission for such valuable prizes, he clicks accept, and the system assigns him to a random trial ground matching his level. Zhou Yi waits until the system finally finds a trial for him, killing a grade E ancient rabby monster. Before he can react, the system suddenly transports him and warns that he should treat the trial seriously, as dying in it will affect his real life. You could have said that in the terms and agreements, you know. Just then, Zhou Yi finds himself in a mine. He then remembers his previous classes, where they were taught that rabby monsters mainly live in mines. While they are not carnivorous, they will become violent and blood-seeking. Like other monsters when they encounter humans, these monsters have low intelligence, but they're still deadly, especially with their method of attack called the Roar of Rage, and their sharp claws that are sharp enough to cut through minerals. Sheesh. That thing is like an ant on steroids. Just then, a rabby monster appears, attacking Zhou Yi at a swift pace. Thankfully, he dodged the attack. This is Zhou Yi's first time facing a monster, but he'll try to kill it without using his skill. His body is much more agile, and his jumping power is much stronger, due to his increased stats. Because of this, Zhou Yi is able to dodge every attack that the monster pulls. He can't help but giggle at this slow poke as he can see its attacks from a mile away. Then, out of nowhere, the rabby's tail extends, hitting Zhou Yi in the stomach. That's what you get for being cocky. Blood spurts out of Zhou Yi, and he suddenly regrets being careless. Although he trained a lot in the academy, fighting monsters in real life is entirely different. He quickly tries healing himself, and the system offers him a slow regeneration option, which recovers a certain amount of health points. Zhou Yi finally recovers after 30 seconds, and he vows to never underestimate monsters, even if they're low-grade ones. Eager to end this fight, Zhou Yi uses the Blade of Pure White. As he utilizes this skill in his battle, the system aids him by providing tips on how to maximize it. According to it, he should concentrate his strength on his arms and swing across, and this will unleash a cross-shaped slash to attack enemies around him. The enemies he hits will then be frozen by light-type magic. Zhou Yi suddenly uses the Tiger Pounce skill, allowing him to grab and throw the rabby monster. While he's running towards it, when he finally gains momentum, he relentlessly punches the monster until his whole body gets holes in it. Finally, Zhou Yi has killed the rabby monster, making his first mission a success. The system congratulates Zhou Yi, and then it asks him for the reward that he prefers. He ponders for a bit and realizes that stat points and skill points are the foundation of a class's strength, but he's not in a hurry to increase his skill level. With that in mind, an extra starting point is the best choice. However, a handy weapon wouldn't be so bad too, since he can use it for upcoming trials. But the system rewards him with weapons. Otherwise, there's no way he can afford one with his current assets. After considering his options, Zhou Yi finally decides to choose the stat points and random equipment. Just then, the system rewards him with 10 extra stat points and a basic one-handed sword. With everything settled, Zhou Yi gets transported back to the real world. Upon returning to his room, he gets a notification in his phone, reminding him to go to the hospital. Meanwhile, Zhou Yi hears from the news that a student triggered the phenomena of the Sacred Angel. According to the intel, the said student awakened a talent before awakening their class, and he proceeded to choose a hidden class, Saint Knight. This is also the first hidden class that graced the city for the last 50 years. However, Zhou Yi doesn't get to finish the news when an angry nurse barges into the room, reminding her that she has to pay her medical fees. It's a total of 10,000, which is twice as expensive as the previous one. She starts to worry, knowing that Zhou Yi can only receive 5,000 by working 3 jobs a month. The nurse suddenly yells at her, explaining that Zhou Yi used a lot of medicine this month, including suppressants and stabilizers. She even called for a priest because her disease acted up 3 times in between, causing every nurse to take care of her at midnight. The nurse continues to complain, saying that Zhou Yi should check the details herself if she thinks there's a problem. Zhou Yi tries explaining that she didn't intend to offend her, but the nurse only tells her not to get struck by rich sickness if she doesn't have the money. She also believes that poor people like her should just accept their fate and choose not to struggle if they can't pay. Geez, chill out, Grandma. Just then, the nurse is forced to shut her hole when a man pats her on the shoulder, telling her to stop insulting her patients. He then calls her out for her sharp tongue, which might get her in trouble. The nurse can only glare her eyes, knowing that this man is no better than her. Before leaving, she reminds Zhou Yi to pay her medical fees before the day ends. When they're finally alone, Zhou Yi asks the man for his name, wondering if he'll also ask for payment for something. The man presents his card, revealing that he's Secretary Zhao Wenbing. He also claims to be Zhou Yi's friend. Zhou Yi enters Zhou Yun's room, announcing that he went to pay the bills, but discovered their account already has 10,000 yuan. He asks Zhou Yun if she knows anything about this, but stops abruptly when he notices the strangers in the room. Zhao Wenbing promptly introduces himself as the mayor's secretary and expresses his desire to discuss something with Zhou Yi, knowing that the mayor is the most powerful man in Jiang City and that his secretary can sometimes represent him. Zhou Yi wonders why someone so important is looking for him. "I don't know, bro. Maybe because you literally summoned an angel." Zhou Yi then respectfully shakes Wenbing's hand and suggests they talk elsewhere. As they leave, Wenbing instructs his bodyguard to look after Zhou Yun while he speaks with Zhou Yi. The two head to a nearby diner where Zhou Yi is the talk of the town. Everyone is going crazy about the hidden class that appeared at the second academy, and they even know who Zhou Yi is. Meanwhile, Wenbing congratulates Zhou Yi on receiving the S-grade talent protection of the Sacred Angel, as well as the awakening of the Meg class. However, Zhou Yi downplays his achievements, saying he was just lucky. I guess that Rabbi Monster incident really humbled him. Wenbing, however, encourages him to be more enthusiastic, pointing out that receiving an S-grade talent during a regular class awakening ceremony is not something achieved by luck alone. Wenbing then reveals that the mayor is interested in Zhou Yi and even instructed the media to avoid causing a stir. Additionally, the mayor has arranged a stock of cultivation resources in preparation for Zhou Yi's exam. Wenbing presents a golden key, explaining that it is the only key that can open the resources inside the city bank's vault. He also tells Zhou Yi that if he has any other requests, he can ask for them right away. The mayor must believe that Zhou Yi can become a powerful force, and that's probably why he's making a massive investment right now. However, Zhou Yi knows too well that there are no such things as free meals. The mayor surely wants some sort of payback in the future. Wenbing then tells Zhou Yi that from now on, there will be a professional medical team to serve Zhou Yun 24/7. On top of that, the mayor has contacted a level 36 second-grade priest to come to Jiangli City and heal Zhou Yun. Who could say no to that deal? Knowing that these offers are beneficial for him, Zhou Yi takes the key and thanks Wenbing. Zhou Yi promptly updates Zhou Yun about the news, which greatly excites her. She believes that her brother is rising on top, and she can't help but want to be an accessory, so she can hang on to him. Yep, this girl is obviously unwell. Zhou Yi bonks Zhou Yun in the head, telling her to stop talking nonsense and focus on her recovery. Just then, Zhou Yun asks Zhou Yi for his skills, knowing that every class has one. This makes Zhou Yi ponder, and he realizes that his 3 Saint Knight exclusive skills are Blade of Pure White for attack and Weapon Blessing for support. Slow recovery can recover life points, but perhaps it can help Zhou Yun. With that in mind, Zhou Yi places his hand on Zhou Yun's head and heals her. Zhou Yun feels a sense of relief as her brother heals her. It makes her feel like she was in a hot spring, while receiving a full body massage. After healing her, Zhou Yi asks if she's feeling any better. Zhou Yun proudly says that her wrist doesn't hurt anymore, and her hands are even warmer. Other than strength, one of the reasons Zhou Yi chose Saint Knight was because of Zhou Yun's disease, since this class counts as a supporter. It can't heal Zhou Yun, but it can reduce her pain. The following day, a few dozen universities called Zhou Yi, wanting to recruit him. He received so many calls that he thought his phone would explode. As Zhou Yi walks with the headmaster, the old man explains that there are 4 teachers from the top 10 universities, so he should do his best and try to fight as many resources as he can. All of those teachers are secondary awakened class holders above level 35, and if Zhou Yi gets recruited by them, he will receive the best training for sure. Zhou Yi then asks which universities those are, and the headmaster replies that they're Rongyang University, Chuan Nun University, Anji University, and Hancheng University. Zhou Yi asks if the top 3 universities are included, but the headmaster explains that those universities recruit according to exam results. They never live at talent and class, nor do they ever have special admissions. As the two approach the office, they overhear the teachers arguing inside. One teacher is furious at a man named Zhao from the Chuan district, puzzled as to why he's present at the meeting when his district is 4,000 miles away. The man wonders if Zhao used a fighter jet to travel, but Zhao replies that he used a sophisticated super long-distance teleportation array. The teacher gets even angrier pointing out that the array consumes a level 30 magic core each time it's used, and it's hard to believe Zhao would spend that just to recruit Zhou Yi. However, Zhao argues that he will spare no expense to recruit a genius for Chuan University. Before the argument escalates further, the headmaster enters the room and introduces Zhou Yi. He then introduces the recruitment teachers, Mr. Zhou Tianfu from Rongyang University, Mr. Li Bing from Chuan University, Mr. Yu from Huncheng University, and Mr. Yu Yuan from Anji University. Zhou Yi bows respectfully, impressing Tianfu with his humility and composure despite receiving a hidden class. Tianfu steps forward, saying he'll get straight to the point and explain Rongyang University's offer, 2 million yuan and 3 Saint Knight skill books. Zhou Yi knows that a regular family's monthly income is 6,000 yuan, making this offer a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Additionally, the Saint Knight exclusive skill books are rare commodities. Regular people can't even touch it, and even the mayor hasn't given him resources of this level. Just then, Li Bing from Chuan University disses Rongyang University's offer, claiming that they're stingy as ever. He counters with 3 million yuan upon admission, 3 Saint Knight skill books annually, and classes instructed by a level 56 tertiary awakened knight. Even the headmaster is shocked, knowing level 56 is nearly the pinnacle of strength on this planet, and becoming a disciple would offer Zhou Yi unparalleled benefits. Suddenly, Zhu Yu from Huncheng University claims that they're not very sincere with their offers. Huncheng University does not possess a lot of admission funds, just 2 million. But if Zhou Yi gets admitted to their university, she will give him a B-class cultivation resource immediately. The headmaster gags at this offer, and he urges Zhou Yi to take it. B-class cultivation resources cannot be measured with money, and with all those treasures, even pigs can be trained into the strongest of monsters. Zhu asks for Zhou Yi's decision, but he disappoints everyone by declining the special admissions, stating his intent to enter one of the top 3 universities. Among the top 10 universities, the top 3 are Sukong University, Qingjing University, and Modu University. They are commonly praised as the best in the country. Other races are naturally stronger than humans. In addition to the countless elites in their country, entering the top 3 universities is as hard as climbing the heavens. Out of nowhere, Tianfu suddenly bursts into blue flames, furious at Zhou Yi for being an ignorant brat. He points out Zhou Yi's losses in his first 18 years, his lack of resources, and his low stats. Zhou Yi feels Tianfu's powerful aura and realizes that without his current abilities, he would have been forced to kneel. Tianfu continues, saying it's nearly impossible for Zhou Yi to enter the top 3 universities with his current strength. Even if he did, he would remain at the bottom without focused training. Just then, the headmaster counters with his own strong aura, calling out Tianfu's receding hairline. Calling him out for bullying his student on his grounds. Meanwhile, Zhu Yu senses that Zhou Yi can withstand Tianfu's aura for more than 3 breaths, which only means that he's quite extraordinary. When Tianfu finally calms down, he says that student recruitment not only looks for potential, but attitude as well. With Zhou Yi's attitude, he'll become nothing even if he's recruited. Nah, Baldy, you're just bitter because you weren't chosen. Meanwhile, Li Bing excuses himself, and so does Yu Yuan, who didn't even get to speak. The headmaster pleads with the teachers to give Zhou Yi one last chance, but the young man is already on his way out of the room. Zhu Yu blocks his path, suggesting that if Tianfu's words upset him, he might fear they're true. She reiterates that the top 3 universities are incredibly challenging to enter, but Zhou Yi remains resolute, claiming he will prove his strength with his exam results. With the help of his system, he believes he will significantly increase his power within a month and gain admission to one of the top universities. Zhu Yu was surprised because it has been a long time since she saw such strong and resolute eyes. It's like she has gone back to the days of fighting in the front line. She realizes she has stayed too long in a peaceful place, and even her mindset seeks stability, which must be why she has a gap with hot-headed young people now. With this, she turns her back on Zhou Yi, saying she looks forward to seeing his results. A month later, everyone gathers for the top 3 universities' exams. The examiner is Demon Yang, causing panic among the students. They recall that 2 years ago, his questions led to very low average scores. Meanwhile, students gossip about Zhou Yi's rejection of special admissions, calling him arrogant. They believe he will fail miserably, thinking he's invincible with a hidden class. Their chatter stops abruptly when they spot Zhou Yi, whose aura is now so powerful it emanates from his body. The map of the secret realm opens, revealing detailed information about the place where students must take their exams. This realm is located deep within the dark forest, with difficulty levels ranging from 10 to 13, classified as easy, hard, and nightmare. The realm requires groups of 1 to 5 people. The students are also warned about the dangers within, including bloodthirsty cat monsters and ferocious minotaurs, who enjoy eating human flesh. Seeing the details of the secret realm causes panic among the students, who start discussing their concerns. Some wonder if there will be swamp terrains, while others are concerned about the cat monsters and minotaurs. Considering the monsters that lurk in the dark forest, it seems like Demon Yang doesn't want them to live. They are also worried about the maximum number of party members allowed. It's known to indicate the map's difficulty, and now it has increased from 3 in previous exams to 5 this time. Suddenly, an instructor arrives and informs the students to act according to their abilities. If they sense any danger in the secret realm, they are to use the return scroll immediately. He also emphasizes that if students are killed in the secret realm, they will die in real life too. That being said, he urges them to prioritize their safety, even if it means failing the exam. With the 30 seconds preparation time over, the teacher tells the students to get ready. They begin teleporting one by one into the secret realm, displaying mixed emotions of fear and determination. Within minutes, all the students have entered the map, leaving only a few teachers and spectators outside. These observers watch the students inside the map on a screen, which displays the full details of their names and stats. This is like the Chinese version of Hunger Games. The first student we see is Sun Qian from Class 1, whose class is Warrior. He has opted to tackle the hard difficulty alone. The second student is Mo Qing, also from Class 1, and her class is Assassin. She, too, has chosen to face the hard difficulty solo. The third screen shows 3 students from Class 1, Wang Fei, Kong Su, and Sun Jian, who have teamed up to take on the hard difficulty together, with their classes being Elemental Mage and Gunsman. Finally, the spotlight shifts to our MC, Zhou Yi, the Saint Knight, who has boldly selected the Nightmare difficulty to face alone. The last screen displays a team of 4 warriors from Class 2, Zhang Wei, Wang Li, Zhao Tianhong, and Yang Erlan, with classes such as Archer, Fire Mage, Swordsman, and Potion Master. They have all teamed up to battle the hard difficulty. The students watching from outside are impressed by the details and stats of these students. One audience says that as expected of the elite class, apart from 2 teams, everyone is taking the exam solo. Going solo means you can hog all the experience and score higher marks, but the risk of death also increases. Only seniors with an elite class dare to do that. Suddenly, a girl spots Zhou Yi. They all notice Zhou Yi's details on the screen, which shows that he has chosen the Nightmare difficulty alone. His bold choice surprises everyone, as red-colored eyes glow ominously alongside his details, indicating the extreme danger he's about to face. In the midst of the audience, Headmaster Luo and Education Director Zhan Tao closely monitor the students' performances on the screen. The director is particularly surprised to see Zhou Yi tackling the Nightmare difficulty alone. He's greatly alarmed, because the Saint Knight's extraordinary support capabilities would make him a key asset to any team. Choosing to go solo in a challenge with a 40% death rate is just pure recklessness. The director's anxiety stems from the City Council's huge investment in Zhou Yi this month, aiming for him to achieve good results. If Zhou Yi were to die on the map, it would greatly damage public opinion of Lijiang City's government. Zhou Yi's bold decision suggests he's disregarding the government's support, which infuriates the director. However, the headmaster reassures him that Zhou Yi is not reckless and likely has a plan. Inside the map, multiple bloodthirsty red eyes are fixated on Zhou Yi. Aware of this, Zhou Yi unleashes his giant axe without fear. When did he even get that? As a cat monster charges at full speed, Zhou Yi remains calm and swiftly kills it with a single strike. This new weapon is a single-blade axe, which is dual-handed polearm weaponry. A divine golden aura emanated from Zhou Yi as he killed the monster, revealing his determination. After killing this demonic cat, his stats appear, revealing that his strength has increased to 45, his constitution to 51, agility to 43, and intelligence to 52. Whoa! Bro turned into a Giga Chad in just a month. Reflecting on his progress, Zhou Yi notes that in 1 month he reached level 10, with average stat points at an impressive 47, equivalent to level 13. Even in the entire Sukan district, he can enter the top ranking of examinees. Despite killing 1 monster, many more lurked, fearful after witnessing the death of the other cats. Feeling invincible, Zhou Yi decides to confront them head-on, charging at full speed. He quickly applies a level 4 weapon blessing, a grade C skill that condenses holy light to increase the attack power and accuracy of weapons for teammates within a certain range. Under the effect of the S+ grade talent protection of sacred angels, this skill gets enhanced, boosting the strength of his single-bladed axe by 21 points. Zhou Yi then proceeds to cut down the monsters one by one, just like Fruit Ninja. His pure might paired with the Saint Knight's exclusive skills surely makes the other students envious of his capabilities. Zhou Yi's powerful buff gives his axe, a bronze 2-star weapon, the effectiveness of a 5-star bronze weapon, making him a standout in the university exam where weapon power is limited. This advantage significantly boosts his stats, creating a clear gap between him and the other examinees. Zhou Yi skillfully dispatches monsters one by one, and when several attack simultaneously, he unleashes the Blood of Pure White skill, obliterating them in seconds. This level 5 grade C skill imbues his hands with an electric current, allowing him to cut through monsters at a very fast rate. This continuously increases his XP, which triggers multiple system notifications. His impressive performance leaves the students watching from outside astonished. They fawn at his sharp timing and skillful use of Blade of Pure White at critical moments. Reflecting on his skill, he acknowledges that Blade of Pure White, which he enhanced to level 5, inflicts massive light element damage that is capable of instantly killing low-level monsters. He continues to eliminate all the monsters, finishing the last one with a lightning attack to its stomach, drawing cheers from the spectators. Of course, they go crazy. This guy is a literal god. The crowd, including students and teachers, is captivated by Zhou Yi's domination. One of the audience claims that he has seen single-bladed axes in trade centers before, and they're all very heavy. But Zhou Yi makes it look like he's wielding sticks. Some speculate he had allocated all his free points to strength, but a teacher points out that his agility and magic proficiency indicate high intelligence as well. Zhou Yi's control over his attacks, his speed, and his strategic use of magic highlights his combat genius. Meanwhile, teachers from various classes observe Zhou Yi's performance. One of them is particularly irritated that someone that good has been placed in Class 5. Meanwhile, the education director also expresses his serious concern about Zhou Yi's solo choice and the nightmare difficulty. He admits that the young man's mindset is strong, but his methods are unwise. He claims that Zhou Yi wasted his stamina on the first wave of cat monsters, but he's only about to face more. It is well known that the nightmare difficulty not only has powerful monsters, but in large quantities as well. Even excellent mages might fail because of magic energy consumption. Additionally, the axe's weight is a great burden to the class itself. Swinging it once or twice might feel like nothing, but doing it 100 times will surely take a toll on anyone. The director firmly believes that Zhou Yi won't even have the strength to hold the axe. If Zhou Yi doesn't put his game face on, he will surely become cat food. In the map, Zhou Yi faces an increasing number of cat monsters without rest, worrying the students watching outside. The cat monsters launch towards him like a huge tsunami, but Zhou Yi refuses to die. Before these hairballs, he wields his axe, cutting through the monsters with lightning and sheer force. Zhou Yi releases multiple attacks, never stopping, until he kills all of the monsters in the area. As he kills the last cat monster, he stands on top of the dead ones like a Death Eater. Just then, a new portal appears before him, which must lead to another round. Without delay, he enters the portal and finds himself facing a new horde of cat monsters, all seemingly waiting for him. Damn, these cats are more ripped than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Meanwhile, in the arena, the test is currently being broadcast by KK, the host of KuaiCon Live. KK talks about Zhou Yi, who he introduces as the most popular top student from the second academy, with the S-grade talent and the Shining Saint Meg class. Suddenly, KK is notified about the details of Zhou Yi's fight, so he quickly hogs the camera, informing everyone that the young man has completed the first wave of the Nightmare map in only 3 minutes and 17 seconds. This is big news because that is 29 seconds faster than last year's top achiever. One student is in awe of Zhou Yi because he kept swinging and slashing, yet he only panted a little afterward. This leaves everyone curious about his constitutional points. One student suddenly recalls Director Zhang's words, where he talked about Zhou Yi's unwise use of stamina on the first wave of monsters. It seems like he was wrong about Zhou Yi, as he's still very energetic. Just then, Mr. Li tells the young student to watch the exam properly, as the director couldn't be wrong about his guesses. However, the student, whose name is Jiang Fei Fei, can only chuckle, because she notices that Mr. Li is trying to hide his excitement. Mr. Li suddenly turns away, and he tries withholding his smile. Inside the map, Zhou Yi stands before the monsters of round 2, using his evaluation technique to check their status one by one. He first checks a level 14 Minotaur, a silver-grade damager with skills like Berserk, Wild Rush, War Stomp, and Super Body. Next, he evaluates a level 12 Light Cat monster, a bronze-grade healer with light-type skills and a healing technique. The third is a level 13 Fire Cat monster, also bronze-grade, mastering fire-type skills like Fireball and Fire Surge. Finally, he examines a level 11 Dark Cat monster, bronze-grade, with dark-type skills including Curse. As Zhou Yi assesses these monsters, he realizes that this stage has a classic team composition. Warrior-type cat monsters, light cat monsters as healers, fire and dark cat monsters as mages, and the high-damage Minotaur. This setup is far more dangerous than the scattered bandits of the first stage, effectively forming a team of trained soldiers. The risk of death just increases 100-fold. Suddenly, all the monsters scream in unison, ready to attack Zhou Yi. Also, what the hell is Ryouth? The Minotaur and other monsters charge directly at him, while fire and dark-type monsters prepare to use their skills from a distance. Before Zhou Yi can react, he is caught in a curse from the dark-type monsters. Despite being trapped, Zhou Yi remains completely calm, unlike the anxious audience who are losing their heads. Observing their teamwork, Zhou Yi smiles and comments on their coordinated strategy. The audience, however, is sweating like sinners at church, some closing their eyes. As the monsters approach, a golden light begins to glow in Zhou Yi's hands, spreading across his entire body. To everyone's surprise, his eyes and body emit a radiant golden aura, and he quickly uses his new technique, the Cross of Sacred Light. A large golden cross appears behind him, roasting the nearby monsters like a Sunday cookout. Those who have come close to attack start screaming in pain, and not long after, all of the monsters are obliterated, except for the Minotaur. All right, make way for Chinese Kettler. The director is in shock as he sees all the low-level monsters being killed in a snap. He is also surprised to know that the Saint Knight is not only a support class, but a grade B area of effect skill as well. Just like talents, skills are categorized by grade, from lowest to highest. There are 7 grades in total, and the higher the grade, the more powerful the effect. However, with every increased grade, the harder it is to obtain. This makes the director a bit suspicious, as the resources the government gave Zhou Yi could only provide a grade C skill at best. How did he have a grade B skill? You're not going to believe this, but he has an angel sugar mommy. The director then realizes that Zhou Yi is more complex than he appears. Inside the map, Zhou Yi stands before a lone Minotaur, the last remaining monster of the second round. With a smile, he points his axe at the beast, issuing an open challenge. Infuriated, the Minotaur uses its Berserk and superior body skills to enhance its War Stomp attack, causing the ground to split. Zhou Yi easily evades the attack, but the Minotaur quickly closes in with a Wild Rush, aiming to catch him off guard. Before the Minotaur can strike, Zhou Yi unleashes an air slash with his axe, sending the Minotaur flying. He then follows up with his Blade of Pure Light attack, but the Minotaur's thick skin, paired with its skills, withstands the blows. Understanding the need for a stronger assault, Zhou Yi strikes with his axe again, breaking through the Minotaur's defenses. Finally, the Minotaur falls, leaving itself soaked in its own blood. Just then, Zhou Yi walks towards the Minotaur, taunting it, before squashing its head and making it explode. He's so heartless, I'm living for it. With the Minotaur defeated, the portal to the next round opens, indicating that Zhou Yi will now face the boss. Outside, the audience is thrilled, as if they just won the lottery. They're still unable to believe that he defeated a 4-meter-tall Minotaur, which even used the Berserk skill. Meanwhile, the girls scream for Zhou Yi's name, claiming that they love him. KK, on the other hand, is freaking out because Zhou Yi only took 59 seconds to finish the second stage. Meanwhile, the director is impressed because our MC knows the perfect timing to use his skills, and he has absolute control over his strength. He can barely even believe that this student only awakened his class a month ago. With this, the director congratulates the headmaster for giving birth to a renowned student like Zhou Yi. The headmaster humbly replies that fortune comes and goes, and perhaps it's time for the second academy to have an elite. Since the founding of the school, the second academy's best performer took the 721st place in the entire district. Well, that's lame. However, Zhou Yi might boost their reputation. As the audience watches the test, someone suddenly questions why Zhou Yi is not resting before entering the boss's room. The headmaster and education director turn their attention to the screen, seeing Zhou Yi advancing. Suddenly, the education director becomes furious, fearing that Zhou Yi might lose his advantage by not recovering his status. However, the headmaster tries to calm him down, suggesting that Zhou Yi must have a reason for his actions. Meanwhile, Zhou Yi refuses to waste time, knowing that Sukang District is a heavily populated place, brimming with talent. Everyone who wants to enter the top 100 will choose to solo the nightmare difficulty to become the top performer. However, one must pass the test within the shortest time. With that, Zhou Yi has no time for breaks. Inside the map, Zhou Yi reaches the boss room. Using his evaluation skill, Zhou Yi finds that the monster is a level 16 Minotaur King with a gold grade. He wants to check more of the Minotaur King's stats, but he can only see limited information due to their level difference. As the Minotaur senses Zhou Yi's presence, it suddenly gets provoked because a human dared to enter his palace. It suddenly stands from its seat, ready to attack Zhou Yi. Zhou Yi quickly activates all his buffs, including Blessing of Dawn, Gift of Courage, Gift of God, and Gift of Protection. With these enhancements, Zhou Yi adopts the formidable form of the Saint Knight. The Minotaur King, infuriated by Zhou Yi's new form, launches a ferocious attack. However, Zhou Yi dodges it and draws closer to the Minotaur King with his weapon in hand. Zhou Yi attacks with his axe, but the Minotaur King blocks the strike with his hand. Despite his full force, the Minotaur King remains unharmed, effortlessly blocking each attack. Zhou Yi realizes that even with 4 buffs, his axe cannot pierce the Minotaur King's flesh. Still, our MC refuses to give up, and after relentlessly trying his luck, he manages to pierce a small part of the Minotaur King's body. Enraged, the overgrown cow screams. It's fed up with the game, so it retaliates with its weapon. It aims to kill our MC. Zhou Yi easily dodges the attack, but the Minotaur King suddenly charges with greater speed, striking Zhou Yi in the stomach. The force of the attack sends Zhou Yi crashing through a series of pillars before he smashes into a wall. The impact is so intense that Zhou Yi is grateful for his Saint armor, which prevents his bones from breaking. Despite the damage, Zhou Yi remains calm because he has a plan in mind. After all, he didn't get it for nothing. He immediately uses his next move, Spear of Victory. As soon as it activates, numerous divine light spears descend from the sky, targeting the Minotaur King. This level 3, grade C technique allows Zhou Yi to throw spears of condensed divine light, causing high damage to any enemy they hit. Meanwhile, the Minotaur King stands below, watching as the divine light spears come to strike. However, it starts destroying the spears with a series of attacks. Zhou Yi knows that the Minotaur King is strong, and it's above him in terms of strength and constitution. He can never beat this guy up using force. Normally, people will gradually try to wear it down, but this will take away his chance of taking the highest rank. Zhou Yi is also well aware that most examiners wouldn't put students in a dead end, so there must be a way out of this mess somehow. As he contemplates his next move, the Minotaur King's relentless attacks continue. Zhou Yi knows he must find a way to exploit the Minotaur King's weaknesses quickly and efficiently to prevail and progress to the next stage. Suddenly, he notices that the Minotaur King's agility is lower than his, especially when he exchanges blows with it. Attacking it rapidly from multiple angles might just be the key to winning. Just then, he receives a notification warning him about his decreasing mana, so he must get this over quickly. Suddenly, he increases the speed of his attacks, targeting the Minotaur King's knee. Apart from agility, he has identified the Minotaur King's second weakness, resistance. Taking advantage of these weaknesses, Zhou Yi continues his relentless assault. The Minotaur King, though possessing high endurance and life points, is more affected by damage and negative effects when continuously attacked. Zhou Yi knows he needs to release multiple high-damage skills in quick succession to turn the fight in his favor. With the Minotaur King brought to its knees, Zhou Yi sees this as his last chance. He unleashes countless attacks, aiming to end the battle swiftly. Golden-colored explosions suddenly light up the area as the Minotaur King screams in agony. However, Zhou Yi's powerful attacks drain his mana further, pushing him to the brink. Determined to finish the fight, he prepares for a final, decisive strike. The success of this last attack depends on precise timing, and failure would mean running out of mana before defeating the Minotaur King. He didn't want to make a large move, but it's too late to regret that now. Drawing his sword, he launches a powerful attack with all his remaining strength. The Minotaur King's body is sliced in two, marking Zhou Yi's victory. As the Minotaur King dies, Zhou Yi clears the Nightmare difficulty dungeon. A notification suddenly appears. congratulating him on completing the deep dark forest dungeon in 9 minutes and 24 seconds. Exhausted, Zhou Yi is taken aback by another notification. He has achieved an SSS grade clearance and has achieved the first place in clearing the map. Despite his excellent performance, Zhou Yi is still shocked to hear that he will become Sukang District's first placer. He's filled with joy, leading him to bask in his victory. As Zhou Yi steps out of the dungeon, memories flood his mind. He recalls the year he transferred schools, his mother's passing, and his sister's illness, along with the enormous debt from medical fees. Despite the overwhelming pressure from all sides, Zhou Yi didn't give up. He vowed that if he couldn't increase his stats, he would continue practicing his fighting skills and cultivate his fighting spirit. He then remembers the moment he first acquired the system, which gave him his second chance at life. He resolved that fate was still within his hands and decided to work harder than anyone else to seize that chance. Reflecting on his journey, Zhou Yi reaffirms his determination, knowing that his heart remains unshakable. Our boy might seem cocky from time to time, but his heart is in the right place. After reflecting on his life, Zhou Yi returns to the real world. He learns that he has earned 5,212 XP, 20 free points, and 20 skill points, which boost him to level 13. His rewards also include a Forest Belt, which increases Constitution by 10%, and Strength by 7%, but he needs to be at least level 10. This belt provides continuous buffs based on Constitution when fighting in the forest, enhancing life points, stamina, and mana recovery by 3 points. He also receives a Forest Ring, which boosts Agility by 8% and Intelligence by 10%, also requiring level 10. Additionally, he gets Wild Strawberries that recover a small amount of mana upon consumption. Lastly, he acquires a Minotaur King card, a gold-grade card, that increases item strength by 20% after enchanting. As soon as Zhou Yi emerges from the portal, he is greeted by the overwhelming cheers of the audience. People are shouting and welcoming him, with girls declaring their love, and some even declaring him as a god. Everyone is expressing their admiration in their own way, leaving Zhou Yi stunned. Bro just became an instant celebrity. What do you expect? Just then, a group of people approaches him, including the headmaster and the education director. The headmaster chuckles, congratulating Zhou Yi on solo clearing the nightmare difficulty within 10 minutes, calling it an unexpected honor for the Second Academy. He expresses his belief that Zhou Yi has the potential to secure first place in the Sukang District, predicting a bright future for him. However, Zhou Yi remains humble and downplays the headmaster's praise. Suddenly, a car arrives at the venue, leaving everyone puzzled. Just then, some of the students curse in shock when they realize that it's a magic item that can enter flight mode and is worth an entire house, the S400. The director then approaches the car, and before he leaves, he informs Zhou Yi that the results will come out in 3 days. He will then inform him of the results ASAP. This old man really showed off in front of everyone. Zhou Yi thanks the director, while the headmaster advises Zhou Yi to take some rest. Later that day, Zhou Yi heads to the hospital. After his last conversation with Zhao Wenbing, Zhou Yun was arranged into the hospital's deluxe suite, with a professional medical team monitoring her condition 24/7. As he enters the hospital's elevator, Zhou Yun's nurse congratulates him for his successful exam. As the elevator ascends, it gradually becomes colder, puzzling the nurse. Zhou Yi, however, senses something is wrong. When the elevator doors open on the 26th floor, both Zhou Yi and the nurse are shocked to see the entire floor completely frozen. Ice covers everything, and the doctors present are also frozen solid. Alarmed for his sister's safety, Zhou Yi rushes to her room. The nurse tries to stop him, but when she extends her hand out of the elevator, she freezes instantly. Zhou Yi breaks through the frozen door, calling out his sister's name. He is stunned by the sight inside. An ice dragon in spirit form is emerging from Zhou Yun's body. The entire room is also frozen, and Zhou Yun is screaming in pain. Meanwhile, a nearby healer is desperately trying to alleviate her suffering. Despite his recent triumph, Zhou Yi is once again facing another challenge. Unable to stand his sister's suffering, Zhou Yi prepares to attack the ice dragon, but Qing, the healer, stops him. Qing is already partly frozen, but she explains to Zhou Yi that his sister's heart might shatter if they attack carelessly. Confused, Zhou Yi asks why a dragon is in the room, so the healer explains that Zhou Yun's cold disease suddenly ignited, and everyone got frozen into ice. The best that healer can do is suppress the cold from leaving the floor, and with that, she urges Zhou Yi to leave, while he still can. Zhou Yi refuses to leave his sister, but Qing breaks it to him. that this is all she can do without a high priest, which suggests that she can no longer save Zhou Yi. Acknowledging the situation, Zhou Yi activates his system and commands it to use all his skill points to upgrade slow recovery. Suddenly, a notification appears, boosting his level 4 slow recovery to a level 10 enhanced slow regeneration. This will gradually recover the health and mana of teammates within a certain range for a certain period of time. As Zhou Yi uses the enhanced slow regeneration, golden streaks of light surround him. Suddenly, the ice covering Qing's hands disappears, greatly shocking her. The magic inside the Saint Knight's healing skill is so powerful that it can even surpass the effects of a level 23 priest liquor. Meanwhile, Zhou Yi directs his powers towards Zhou Yi. While doing so, he directs Qing to go and inform Secretary Zhao about the situation, so that he may call a high-level priest. However, Qing replies that the schedule of the high-level priest is packed, and the appointment that Secretary Zhao booked with her is not due until the next week. Even if they did call her now, she won't make it in time. Just then, Zhou Yi turns to Qing with a cold stare, telling her to just go and inform Secretary Zhao, and he will do one thing for him in the future, whatever his request may be. Left with no choice, Qing immediately leaves the vicinity. While Zhou Yi heals his sister, he recalls that the burst of cold is something that Zhou Yi has experienced every night for the past year. Under the influence of the cold aura, she would suffer intense pain across her body. He knew that the cold was getting more severe recently, but he didn't know it was going to be so severe that it would affect her surroundings. Suddenly, Zhou Yi senses the cold aura getting stronger, so he pours in all his mana to prevent it from leaving the room. However, the force is way stronger than him, and it eventually wears him down. As the evening approaches, Zhou Yi relentlessly tries to heal his sister, although he's half-frozen and tired. Out of nowhere, a green ball of light shoots into the room, forcefully bumping against the ice dragon's body. This startles the exhausted Zhou Yi, causing him to frantically threaten the intruder to not touch her sister. Just then, the ball hits Zhou Yi, sending him flying. The intruder is none other than his awaited guest, the High Priest. With Zhou Yi out of the way, the priest summons the ice dragon towards her, which immediately attacks with rage. However, she's not a high priest for nothing. She skillfully attacks the ice dragon with a series of spells, eventually constricting it. With the ice dragon immobilized, the priest alleviates Zhou Yi's pain through her spells. When the chaos settles down, Zhou Yi approaches the priest, asking if it's over. The priest, while defrosting all the damage on the entire floor, is delighted to meet Zhou Yi, and says that she's heard a lot about him. She then introduces herself as Chuai Lei Na, Qingyun City's level 35 secondary awakened priest, but his thunder thighs are definitely holy. According to Lai Na, Secretary Zhao specially asked her to treat Zhou Yi in advance. However, at the back of her head, she never would have acted right away if she hadn't been informed that Zhou Yi had a chance of taking first place in the recent examination. On top of that, she's also surprised about his endurance, knowing that he fought against the cold for so long. Secretary Zhao truly wasn't lying about Zhou Yi's capabilities. Just then, Zhou Yi asks about his sister's disease, wondering if it's curable. Lai Na replies that it's the leaking of cold energy which solidifies into a form. This is a sign of bloodline awakening. When the Eternal game first appeared, a lot of players chose their characters to be other races such as elves, giants, demons, and more. However, when the game merged with reality, those players received the traits of those bloodlines. People with elven bloodlines have greener eyes and longer ears, while humans with giant bloodlines can grow to a height of 3 to 4 meters. For the past 200 years, those players married humans, and after their blood got diluted over the generations, they gradually lost those traits and powers, except for a special condition, blood awakening. Lai Na regrets to inform Zhou Yi that blood awakening can bring both fortune and misfortune. A successful awakening means they can control the power of other races, and their level and learning ability will also be multiplied. However, if they fail, they will either be paralyzed or die on the spot. Well, that's fun. Lai Na also informs Zhou Yi about his sister's condition, noting that Shu An is suffering because her body cannot handle her rare freezing bloodline. To carry forward this rare bloodline, Shu An needs to change her constitution. Suddenly, she mentions the freezing lotus treasure, which can alter a human's constitution. However, this treasure is extremely rare, last appearing at an auction 30 years ago, where it was bought for 1,300 million by an unknown person. Before leaving, Lai Na gives Zhou Yi another fun fact. Zhou Yi's condition will worsen, and the cold inside her will explode in 3 months. if maltreated. Other than the lotus, there's another option. A great sealing skill that can seal Zhou Yi's bloodline. However, this will prevent her from leveling up in the future. Lai now leaves the final decision to Zhou Yi, telling him to contact her if he has made up his mind. After this incident, Zhou Yi trained his head off, making him a ripped fine specimen. His routine is challenging as it includes 200 deep squats, push-ups, sit-ups, and weapon swings. As soon as his daily training is completed, a system notification prompts him to choose his reward. He opts to use his reward on his stat points, a common choice for his daily quest rewards. Constitution and intelligence are crucial for a Saint Knight, but he also needs to balance other stats. Using the 2 to 3, 3 to 2 method, he distributes his points across 4 stats, aiming for balanced development to minimize flaws. Suddenly, another notification appears, announcing the exam results. As expected, Zhou Yi has secured first place in the Sukong district exam, and the rewards will reflect his achievement. Immediately, he begins receiving his rewards, the divine skill called God Hand, an S-grade divine item called the Resurrection Cross, the one-time mystery skill called Exorcism, the rare skill called the Punishment of Light, and 30 free stat and skill points. Zhou Yi's first-place achievement becomes headline news, leading the media to refer to him as the Black Horse. Despite being only level 10 when he entered the secret realm, he managed to secure first place. The headlines also mention his awakening ceremony, where director Xiao talks about seeing Zhou Yi's potential for greatness from the start. He also claims that this is why he urged the government to increase their investment in him. Meanwhile, some students are confused about Zhou Yi's class. They find it hard to believe that a Saint Knight, typically seen as a support class, could achieve first place. On the other hand, some students are skeptical about the possibility of a Saint Knight clearing a realm alone. Some even believe that Zhou Yi cheated his way to the top. However, one student presents a recording of the examination, claiming that everything is true. Upon seeing the recording, some students comment on the numerous buffs Zhou Yi seems to possess, comparing his holy cross to a high-tier mage's fire magic. Elsewhere, a Giga Chad with red hair watches Zhou Yi's test on the TV, having seen the entire fight. He discovers that Zhou Yi cleared the realm 20 seconds faster than he did, which makes him a bit irritated. He has already considered Zhou Yi his competitor. The young man appears to be a fire-type awakener, as flames flare from his sides, while he curses Zhou Yi for taking away his honor. His anger causes a nearby robot to explode, and he vows that Zhou Yi is inviting his own death. Elsewhere, Zhou Yi walks down the street and checks messages on his phone. He suddenly sees notifications about 2 money transfers from the government, which are worth 5 million and 2 million. Suddenly, Secretary Zhao calls him, informing him that the government will reward him with 5 million in cash and a luxurious mansion. This is his reward for his brilliant performance on the exam. Zhao then asks him if he has a preferred area for the mansion, but Zhou Yi replies that he'll let them choose for him. Zhao also mentions that the recruitment teacher for the top 3 universities is on his way, so he asks if he should send a ride. However, Zhou Yi tells him that it's not necessary since multiple visitors are already here. Just then, a recruitment teacher from Rongyang University greets Zhou Yi. However, another voice interjects, reminding everyone that Rongyang University previously called Zhou Yi too arrogant. Both Zhou Yi and the recruiter look up to see a person descending from a helicopter. However, the recruiter from Rongyang explains that Zhao Tianfu, the teacher who embarrassed Zhou Yi, has been fired from the university. On top of that, the school offered Zhou Yi 4 million if he agrees to study there. Just then, the man from the helicopter hops to the ground, telling Zhou Yi that whatever Rongyang University will give him, Moju University will give him double it. He even claims that the fight for Zhou Yi is over now, so the other recruiters should just give up and leave. As tensions rise, a woman with angel wings suddenly appears behind Zhou Yi, quickly flying him into the air. Everyone wants our MC so bad, he's getting kidnapped. The woman whispers to Zhou Yi that Qingjing University has nothing but cultivation resources, and if he studies there, she promises to give him a graded cultivation resource every year. However, the woman suddenly bumps into a force field, stopping her from taking Zhou Yi any further. Another woman dressed in all black ascends into the air, telling Zhou Yi that Sukong University can provide whatever Qingjing can. She also tells the winged woman that kidnapping Zhou Yi is useless, and that she might just regret it. The man from the helicopter agrees, saying that one can take a horse to the water, but one cannot force it to drink. With this, he takes the opportunity to tell Zhou Yi that not only will Modu University provide him with graded cultivation resources every year, but they will also give him a full set of golden-grade equipment each year as well. Pissed, the Wayne woman puts Zhou Yi down, and she justifies that she was only having an intimate conversation with Zhou Yi and was not kidnapping him. She then urges Zhou Yi to decide, but the woman from Sukong suddenly intervenes, introducing herself as Su Mei. She goes on to share that her university practices strength as absolute, and if he can get into the school's earth or heaven rank, the greater resources will be useless because he will receive grade S resources. On top of that, Sukong University has repeatedly gotten first place in the past 4 years' freshman exchange contests, which only reflects on their students' ability to cultivate. The woman from Qingjing suddenly argues with Sume, claiming that she has gotten arrogant after a few wins. However, Sume only tells her that she can refute the fact that Sukong won, but Qingjing should ensure that their students work harder. As everyone argues, Zhou Yi assesses the situation. All three universities' conditions are pretty similar, and any one of them can grant him a bright future. If he wants to get even stronger in university, then there's only one best option. Suddenly, Zhou Yi declares that he will announce his choice, causing everyone to fall silent. To Sume's delight, Zhou Yi chooses Sukong University. Delighted, Sume wastes no time to give him the special recruitment contract. The man from Modu is not surprised that Sukong University got ahead of them again, while the woman from Qingjing reassures Zhou Yi that he can shift to her university anytime. As Zhou Yi's eyes widen at Sukong's offers, Sume can only curse the other recruiters for their petty comments. As Zhou Yi signs the contract, he suddenly asks Sume what her level is, and she replies that she's a level 42 second awakened mage. However, Zhou Yi is puzzled because she doesn't even look 30. Sume then replies that the world out there is really big, and when he finally enters Sukong, he'll see even more young and powerful people. This excited Zhou Yi, thinking that there would be nobody that could rival him in age after receiving the system. Once he enters Sukong, he can definitely face a lot of opponents, which will make him stronger and faster. This thought motivates Zhou Yi to sign the contract faster, which interests Sume. As soon as he finishes writing his name, Sume immediately grabs the contract. She then tells Zhou Yi that she will give him a week to pack his luggage, and after 3 weeks, she'll take him to Sukong University. Hearing this, Zhou Yi asks if Sukong's semester starts early. Sume replies that he's correct, as the university wants their special recruits to improve their skills faster. Only then will they have a better performance in the National Freshman Exchange Contest. Later that day, Zhou Yi and Zhou Yun move into their new mansion. Secretary Zhao explains to Zhou Yi that the mansion is the city government's gift to him. It has 3 floors, and the second one is a specialized training room. Meanwhile, the 3rd floor has a large balcony and leisure area. Additionally, the total floor area nearly measures to 1,000 square meters. After his brief orientation, Secretary Zhao takes his leave so that Zhou Yi and Zhou Yun can rest. However, before he can leave, Zhou Yi asks for a request. He explains that Zhou Yun is not fully healed yet, and her body is still weak. Even though Qing stays by her side, he wishes that Secretary Zhao could look after Zhou Yun in his stead. He really made the mayor's secretary into a babysitter. However, Secretary Zhao finds no problem with this, and he even considers an honor. Meanwhile, Stu-Ming waits for Zhou Yi in the car as he bids his sister goodbye. He tells Zhou Yu to call him if there are any problems, and he also reminds her to take the pills from the priestess every week. On top of that, he tells her to be consistent in her checkups, and to also look forward to school, which Secretary Zhao will arrange. However, Zhou Yun is bored of her brother's yapping, so she playfully annoys him. Zhou Yi can only pinch her cheek, leading her to yield. Finally, Zhou Yi drives away with Sume. Sume then asks him if this is his first time traveling long distances, and he confirms it just then. Sume warns him to be prepared. Out of nowhere, the car busts into turbo mode and enters a portal. In a split second, they find themselves in Anning City, where other cars are also exiting their own portals. Zhou Yi, clearly shaken from the intense ride, asks Sume if they are really sure on time that they need teleportation. Their casual use of a teleportation device impresses Zhou Yi, knowing that even Priestess Chua has to send a request before using one. Sume explains to Zhou Yi that Sukong University is working with the military, so they built a large-scale teleportation array near the school for safety and convenience. Just then, Sume tells Zhou Yi that they just arrived at the university. Zhou Yi's eyes widen as he takes in the breathtaking landscape and the thousands of diverse individuals around him.